Hey, good day to you. It's Thankful Thursday. It just happens to be National Day of Prayer. I want to talk to you just for a moment about gratitude in the fact that Jesus came and did something for us that we could not do. He made a way where there was no way to the Father, that we might have communication, that we might directly have access to the throne room of God the Father through the Son, Jesus Christ, our perfect sacrifice. He also, as he walked the planet, Jesus gave to his disciples, and I'm grateful for this, the example and the model for praying, for having that communication with God. We see this in Matthew 6. And Jesus is talking to his disciples, and may he speak to you and I right now in regard to this area of prayer. The National Day of Prayer was instituted modern day in 1952, and we come together as a nation. And in this time of uncertainty, how great is that? But we come, again, on the merits, not on an enactment of government. We come because Jesus made a way. And so when he's talking to his disciples in Matthew 6, there's a place in verse 8 where he says, don't be like those who are just being religious. He says, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. So praying is asking. Praying is more. It's certainly giving thanks, giving praise, offering our hearts in worship to God. All that is a part of prayer. But the word pray itself means to ask. And then Jesus says this to his disciples. We call this the Lord's Prayer, but it's really the disciples' prayer. It's for us, and Jesus gives it to us. He says, pray then in this way. Our Father who is in heaven. Let me just pause there. Our Father in heaven is above all things. Even in times of uncertainty, he has not left the throne. He is in all authority, all power, all sovereignty is his. So Jesus says, come and say, our Father who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. The idea there is what we're saying, we're actually asking God to do something. We're not just making a statement about God. We're saying, God, make your name famous. Your name is to be hallowed or holy. God, I'm asking you, make your name famous. You want to do it. I'm agreeing with you. And then he says in verse 10, pray this way, your kingdom come. We're not asking for a piece of real estate here. Your kingdom come. We're saying, Lord, let your rule and reign. We're inviting God's rule and reign into our heart. Let your kingdom come so that your will, God, will be done in the sphere of influence that I have today. So, our Father in heaven, make your name famous. Your rule and reign, your kingdom come, your will be done. And then some more petitions happen. Things that God knows that we need. And Jesus makes it clear to his disciples when we ask, give us this day our daily bread. We're asking for provision. All of us have needs. And God says, come to me and ask first. I know exactly what you need. You know what you want, but I know what you need. So he says, ask for the provision that you need. Daily bread was an essential. And he's saying, look for the essentials. The next verse says, and forgive us our debts or trespasses, as we also have forgiven those that have trespassed against us, or our debtors, those that have things that we are holding against them. Forgive us so that we might freely forgive others. That is pardon. Jesus offered us pardon when we didn't deserve it. When justice demanded something else, he granted us mercy by his own blood, by taking our punishment upon himself. So provision, pardon, and then the next part of the prayer says, and do not lead us into temptation. Do not lead us into temptation. In the book of James, it says God tempts no one, and it explains how temptation comes, and I won't go into all of that. Don't let my weakness, Lord, meet with the opportunity for sin to offend you today. That's what we're asking for. Don't lead us into temptation. Don't allow that, but deliver us from the evil one. That's protection. You know, we don't have to be fearful of death because Jesus conquered death, but he doesn't want us to be fearful of anything else either. But he says, ask for my protection. Ask for my protection. Deliver us from the evil one, some translations say. And then how do we have that authority? It's in the authority of Christ. For yours, O God, is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever and ever. For all eternity, it has belonged to Him. It belongs to Him. It will always belong to Him. So on this National Day of Prayer, and then again tomorrow, and the next day, we have the great privilege that we need to be thankful for, that we can approach the throne of grace in the name or the authority of Jesus because He made a way where there was no way. I encourage you, choose joy today. Choose gratitude today. No amount of regret can change yesterday. No amount of worry or anxiety will change tomorrow. But any amount of gratitude can change your perspective for today and for those around you as well. May the Lord bless you on this National Day of Prayer, and may you have a great rest of the week. Hope to see you sometime soon. There's some things coming up, and we'll give you more information about Sunday services soon. God bless. Have a great day.